guys, we're about, what are we, 2 weeks away, a week and a half away from the NFL draft, and I'm starting to get worried that the 49ers are going to make a huge mistake in the first round. I'll explain what I mean here in this video. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What's up? Seth Floyd Show. I'm your host, Seth Floyd Hansen. Guys, when I hit record on this video, we were at 375 subscribers. That's incredible. Okay, my goal is to hit 500 by football season. Okay, that's September. We only need 125 left. Think about it. You could contribute to that for free. Just if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. It's faux free. Free, and maybe I'll send you $1. I won't promise I'll send you $1, but you never know. But regardless, thank you for being here. Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, and let's roll. So 49ers, they pick 11 in the first round of this draft, and I got to tell you, I'm worried. I'm worried because for a few reasons. One, this draft sucks. This is a terrible draft to be picking at 11. It's not top heavy. It's not top heavy. So you're most likely not ending up with someone that their ceiling feels like a perennial All-Pro or like a consistent Pro Bowler. You're more likely to end up with just a solid starter. In fact, you'll feel good in this draft if you end up with a solid starter, someone you'll want to sign to a second contract, okay? And so that's frustrating in itself. Not a great top-heavy draft. If this was last year, if the 49ers were picking at 11 last year, you could have ended up with Brock Bowers, who's like on his way to being the best tight end in the league. Not maybe this next year, but it's only a matter of time. That dude is electric. Anyway, I was thinking about that earlier today. There's others too, but whatever. Here's what I'm worried it's going to happen for the 49ers. This is the mistake that I think they're going to fall into. And I've gone back and forth on this. I really have. But I've come back to what my original thought was. I'm going to stick to my guns. You have to come away with a game changer, an absolute game changer. You can't just fill a need. You have to figure out who the game changer is at 11, whoever's left on the board. Take them regardless of position. That's how you win the draft. Is you just stockpile talent. Doesn't matter what the position is. And I'm worried that given how dire the defensive line situation, status, whatever you want to say, is for the 49ers, that they are going to reach for somebody at 11. Now, on the record, this is what I think happens. Well, this is what they're going to try to happen. This is their number one choice. I promise you, this is what they want to happen, and that is to trade back. They want to trade back. They probably want to trade back into the 20s, pick up multiple draft picks, and probably get one of these interior defensive linemen that some people are mocking to them at 11, like Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon. Okay, there's a few others. I imagine one of those guys will be there at pick 20 to pick 25. Okay? I don't think anyone is taking them at 11 unless it was the 49ers because it's such a big need. But if the Niners are smart and they don't take them at 11, okay, then they're going to slide probably to around pick 20 is my point. That's what they want to happen because they need picks. They need to get younger. And there's so much value in the draft in the second and third rounds. Like they want to trade back, pick up more of those picks, and find more starters in the second and third round. Let's assume, though, they can't trade up. Who's trading up? Well, someone who wants Ashton Jeanty, Tyler Warren. If Shadir Sanders falls, which that's kind of the smoke right now, he's going to fall. A team that's like desperate wants to trade up and get him. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe Armin Membo goes early in the top 10 and Will Campbell's there at 11 and a team is like, we have to get Will Campbell. He's the only other really like franchise tackle. Maybe that kind of situation. If they don't trade up, though, I'm worried they're going to take one of those guys that I think will be there in the 20s. Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, both of those guys could be really good. I don't know. But I do know nobody is like clamoring to trade up to get them. I don't think so. I don't think either of those guys project as like a absolute game wrecker. I think they both could be very good at what they do. And if that happens, then great. If you take them at 11 and they're just like really good and they make a Pro Bowl or two like in their career or while they're with the Niners, like great. Like you generally be like, okay, that's pretty good. It'll feel Mike McGlinchey-ish to me, but maybe they'll be a little better than that, and you'll be like, okay, great. The problem is, while you're feeling good about Walter Nolen or Derek Harmon making 1 or 2 Pro Bowls in their tenure with you, you're going to look at a couple guys like, in my head, like a Tyler Warren, who's just an all-pro after all-pro after all-pro every single year. And you're going to be like, shoot. And in 3 years, George Kittle will have retired. 4 years, George Kittle will have retired. And now you're looking, you're like, man, we took Derek Harmon over Tyler Warren. He's the best tight end in the league. Could have had him. And we could have paired him with Kittle for a couple years. Would have been incredible. Or they're going to pass on like Mike Green. Now, Mike Green is far from a sure thing. Like, I love Tyler Warren because he's like man, is he the best prospect in this draft? He just plays a devalued position? I think so. You could argue Abdul Carter, great, because Abdul Carter has the measurables, but you could say he hasn't played the position very long. He looked really good at Penn State this last year, but he hasn't been an edge rusher. This was his only year he was an edge rusher. So maybe that worries you a little bit. Mason Graham's fantastic, but his measurables aren't perfect. Like, he's not the perfect prospect. Tyler Warren is like the safest he has what's his ceiling? Best tight end in the league. Top 3 tight end in the league for sure. Like, I would be shocked if he wasn't. His floor is top 5 tight end in the league. Like, he's like a can't miss. He blocks, he catches the football, he runs with the football after he catches it. Sorry, I over-explained that. He was like their wildcat quarterback. Like, dude is a freak. He's huge, 6'6", 250. I don't know, that might be a little bigger than he really is, but you get my point. Like, he's an absolute can't miss. And that's what I want with my 11th pick. You don't have to take Tyler Warren, though I will applaud it drastically while most of the fan base freaks out and cries and moans like they've been doing all offseason. But I will applaud it because it's a great pick. You're stockpiling talent. And you can get starting defensive tackles in the 2nd and 3rd round. And are they that much worse than Walter Nolen, Derek Harmon? I don't know. They might be. They might not be, though. They're not good enough prospects to be. They're not in the Mason Graham tier where you know Mason Graham is probably going to be a game wrecker. So in my head, I can take I can take a Tyler Warren at 11, and then in the 2nd round, I can take Omar Norman Lott. And then in the 3rd round, I can go get JTT, I can't say his last name, the edge rusher from Ohio State, or Princely, whoever, I can't say his last name either, from Ole Miss. Like, I can take one of those guys maybe in the 3rd round, and now all of a sudden I have 2 starting defensive linemen that I picked up after I picked up Tyler Warren in the 1st round. Like, do you see my point? I got an absolute game wrecker in the 1st round, Omar Norman Lott. Like, I would guess, if I had to put money on it, I would say he's going to end up as a similar NFL career as a Walter Nolen or a Derek Harmon. I could be wrong. I'm not like a huge talent evaluator. I haven't been grinding the tape. I've just been reading the tea leaves, just reading what people have said about each prospect. And that's just how I feel. Now, I got off track. Tyler Warren, safe bet. He's going to be great. The other guy I mentioned, Mike Green. I would rather them take Mike Green at 11 than like a Walter Nolen because his ceiling is so dang high. And he's not just a traits guy, though he has traits. He's huge. Okay, did a video on him. Monster production this year at Marshall, 15 sacks. And he could absolutely take the league by storm. The reason he's not going to be top 10, I don't think, but he could be, is because of his off-the-field issues, whatever that had happened. So that may cause him to drop. Mike Green is a guy people might be calling to trade up for. If the Bears, they pick at 10, if they don't take Mike Green, I bet the 49ers receive calls from teams that probably want Mike Green. I would rather them take a Mike Green than like a Walter Nolen. Just because if he hits the way what his potential is, it's going to absolutely destroy the league. Now, it's a risk. It is a risk. Walter Nolen, Derek Harmon are safer picks. I would think in terms of they're probably ready to play right away and can make an impact right away. I think Mike Green is too, but there's a chance he's not because he only did it 1 year and I don't know, whatever. But I would rather them take Mike Green and pair him with Nick Bosa. I also, along with that, I'd rather have Mike Green, but Pierce from Tennessee, like at the beginning of this draft season, he was like a lock top 10 pick, it felt like, and now all of a sudden he's dropped a little bit. Some weird things about his character, passion for football, I don't know. But he's kind of like that too. He's like a Mike Green freak athlete, can rush the passer. I would rather take either of those guys or Tyler Warren over Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon at 11. If you trade back, get more picks, get around pick 20, and you take Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan, great. Now you've got maximized the value of the 11th pick. You've gotten extra draft picks to take more guys in the second and third rounds or fourth rounds, whatever. And you also got a starting defensive tackle at around pick 20, okay? But if you just take a Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon at 11, I just think you're devaluing the pick. I just think you're devaluing the pick. It's the same as like, oh gosh, a few years ago when the Niners traded up and they took Trey Lance and the rumors were Mac Jones. Like, I was telling everybody, like, even if they took Mac Jones at 3 and they won the Super Bowl with Mac Jones, my counter would have been this. Great. I'm so happy they won the Super Bowl. If people were like digging me, like, see, they should have taken Mac Jones, I would have countered with this. It's great that they won the Super Bowl, but you could have had him at 12 and not given up all these picks. It was still a bad trade because you'd overpay what his price tag is. A Toyota Camry is a fantastic car, guys. But is it a fantastic car at $100,000? No, because I can buy one brand new for $20,000. And that's what they would have been doing with Mac Jones. Mac Jones at 12, fine. Not my favorite pick. I wouldn't have wanted him, but fine. But to trade up and overpay, like paying $100,000 for a Camry, like, what are we doing? And it feels a little bit like that to me. That's like the best analogy I can come up with. It feels a little bit like that if you go Derek Harmon, Walter Nolan. And listen, if they go with either of those dudes at 11, okay, I'm going to be their biggest fan. I'm going to be pounding the table for them. I'm not going to whine and cry like most people do and laugh at the organization, whatever. But in my opinion, that's how I feel about it. Okay? Tyler Warren would be the safest bet. Mike Green and Pierce from Tennessee, they would be much more exciting and give me hope because they could end up being just absolute game records, top 5 pass rushers in the league. I don't know if that's the ceiling for Walter Nolan or Derek Harmon. And that's what I got for you tonight. They're going to try to trade back. I promise you they're going to try to trade back. The only way they wouldn't trade back is the only way they wouldn't trade back if they had a really good offer on the table. It takes 2 to tango. So if they don't trade back, it's probably because no one wanted to make a pick at 11. But they're going to trade back if they can, unless like Mason Graham is there. If something really weird happens and Abdul Carter's there, which he won't be, obviously. I don't think Mason Graham will be there either. Maybe our man Membo, if he's there, I don't think he's going to be there either. Maybe they love him enough. But outside of that, like, they're working the phones. They're trying to trade back. I guarantee it. Will they? I don't know. I hope they do. That's the right move. To trade back, pick up more picks, that would be the right move. But man, I hope they don't make that mistake. Don't overpay. Don't overpay, man. Take a swing at 11. Or don't even. This is not even a swing. If you take Tyler Warren, it's not even a swing. It's just like a bunt, and the shift is still legal, and everybody is on the right side of the field, and you bunt it down the left field line, and you bunt it all the way to the infield, out of the infield, and you get a free double. Like, that's what Tyler Warren feels like to me. Like, just can't miss. But whatever. I know I'm in the minority. Most of you are going to lose your freaking minds if they draft Tyler Warren. But that's not how I view the draft. Like, take the best guys. Just take the best guys. The rest will figure itself out. And there's starting D tackles to be had in the second, third, and even fourth rounds, in my opinion. So just take the best player at 11. Probably Tyler Warren. Or Ashton Jeanty. Don't get me started. I love Ashton Jeanty. It's not going to be Ashton Jeanty. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Am I crazy to think that it'd be a mistake to take Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon at 11? Am I crazy to think they should take Tyler Warren? Probably, but that's all right. I'm a little crazy. It's okay. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Hit subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, and that's what I got. I'm out. Go Niners.